Our solar system. Our solar system focus question: what have we learned about our solar system from studying space? Introduction. Our solar system is made up of the Sun, 8 official planets, several dwarf planets, and hundreds of planetary satellites or moons. It also contains comets, asteroids, and clouds of gas. The Sun is the center of the solar system. Everything else in the solar system goes around or orbits the Sun. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are the inner, rocky planets. They are made of hard materials. The outer planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. They are known as the gas giants and are made mostly of gases. The outer planets are hundreds of times larger than Earth. To get an idea of the size of things in our solar system, imagine that Earth is a grape. If the Earth were the size of a grape, the Moon would be the size of a green pea. The Sun would be as big as a ball that an adult man could stand in. Jupiter, the largest planet, would be the size of a grapefruit, while Saturn, the second largest planet, would be the size of an orange. Uranus and Neptune could be the size of the lemons. The Sun. The Sun is a huge ball of burning gas that sends energy far out into the solar system. The Sun plays a very important part in our daily lives, providing energy that supports all life on Earth. The Sun causes seasons, climate, ocean currents, air circulation, and weather. Without the Sun's energy, plants cannot grow and make food. Also, there would be no gas, oil, or coal, which are Earth's fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are formed over millions of years from dead plants and animal life. The Sun is just one of billions of stars. It has been around for about 4.6 billion years. It will keep producing energy for another 5 billion years. Before it dies, it will swell up and swallow many of the inner planets. Then it will shrink into a much smaller ball. Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun. It is the smallest planet in our solar system. It takes only 88 Earth days for Mercury to make a complete orbit around the Sun. For comparison, it takes Earth 365 days or 1 year to orbit the Sun. Like all other planets, Mercury spins like a top as it goes around the Sun. It spins very slowly. Each spin of the planet is a day on that planet. A day on Mercury is 59 times longer than an Earth day. Because Mercury spins or rotates so slowly, it gets very hot during the day and very cold at night. Venus. Venus and Earth are similar in size, but Earth and Venus are very different. Venus is covered by layers of clouds that are much thicker than clouds on Earth. These clouds trap most of the Sun's heat. The temperature of Venus gets very, very hot, more than 4 times hotter than boiling water. As well as trapping the heat, the clouds of Venus reflect sunlight. It makes Venus one of the brightest objects in the sky. The air pressure on Venus is 90 times greater than that on Earth. For this reason, space probes that land on Venus stop working within a few hours. Venus rotates even more slowly than Mercury. 1 day on Venus is equal to 243 Earth days. Earth is a very special planet because it is our home and also because it is the only planet in our solar system that can support life. The most important difference between Earth and other planets is in the abundance of liquid water. Water covers nearly 70% of the Earth. Earth rotates about once every 24 hours, 1 day. It completes one orbit of the Sun about once every 365 days, 1 year. Earth's atmosphere is made up of gases that living things need to stay alive. The atmosphere protects us from most of the Sun's harmful rays. It also helps to protect us from materials by causing them to burn up before reaching Earth's surface. Earth has one natural satellite, the Moon. Do you know? Earth's atmosphere is very thin. If Earth were an apple, the atmosphere would only be as thick as the apple's skin. The Moon. The Moon is about 1/4 the size of Earth. It reflects light from the Sun onto us. Many scientists believe the Moon was originally a part of Earth that was broken off in an enormous space collision. Tests have shown that there is water on ice on the Moon's surface. Earth's ocean tides are caused by the gravitational pull of the Moon. Mars. Mars, the 4th planet from the Sun, is known as the red planet because of the large amounts of rust-covered dust on its surface. Mars, the most Earth-like of all the planets in our solar system. Mars has seasons similar to our own, and the soil where there is similar to the soil on Earth. But there is very little oxygen or water vapor in Mars's atmosphere. The climate on Mars changes widely between seasons. Temperatures on its surface can range from 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit in the summer, to minus 130 degrees Celsius, minus 202 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit in the winter. Mars is often Mars often has winds that blow up to 200 kilometers per hour, 120 meters per hour. These winds cause great dust storms that color the planet's atmosphere pink. There are ice caps on both poles of Mars. The northern one is made up mostly of water that never melts, while the southern pole is made up of carbon dioxide, which changes from solid to gas during the Martian summer. Mars has two small moons, Phobos and Deimos. A year on Mars is almost as long as 2 Earth years. A day on Mars lasts only 1/2 hour longer than a day on Earth. Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. It is like a star in many ways because it is made up mostly of gas clouds. The clouds on Jupiter form bands that have very high winds and are always very stormy. One gigantic storm rotates counterclockwise at a constant speed of 360 kilometers per hour, 225 meters per hour, and acts much like a hurricane. It's called the Great Red Spot. Easily visible, it can be as wide as 3 times the size of Earth. Jupiter's temperature is very cold at the tops of the clouds. At its core, it is hotter than the surface of the Sun. In some ways, Jupiter is like a mini solar system because it is so big and has 4 large moons and dozens of smaller moons orbiting around it. It also has several thin rings at its equator. Scientists believe that if Jupiter had become larger during its development, it could have become a star instead of a planet. Jupiter spins quite fast for such a large planet. One day on Jupiter is roughly 10 hours. It takes Jupiter almost 12 Earth years to complete its orbit around the Sun. Saturn. Saturn is the 6th planet of the solar system. It is easy to recognize because of its large visible system of rings. The rings are made up of millions of pieces of ice and frozen gases. Saturn also has dozens of small moons that orbit it. Saturn is also unique for another reason. It weighs little compared to how large it is. Saturn would float if a swimming pool could be made big enough to hold it. Saturn spins very fast, making one day on Saturn 10.5 hours long. Uranus. Uranus is the 7th planet of the solar system and the 3rd largest. It looks green in color because of methane gas in its atmosphere. Uranus seems to roll around the Sun because it is very tilted. Scientists think this might be because it bumped into another planet-sized object long ago. Uranus has had at least 27 moons, 5 of which are large. Scientists have also counted at least 13 rings. It took Uranus 81 Earth years to go around the Sun. Neptune. Neptune is the 8th planet from the Sun. Neptune and Uranus are sometimes called the twin giants because they are so much alike. They are about the same size and color and both are covered with thick clouds. But Neptune's winds are the fastest in the solar system, reaching 2,000 kilometers per hour, over 1,242 minutes per hour. Neptune has one large moon and many smaller moons, plus several visible dust rings. It takes Neptune about 165 years to go around the Sun. Pluto, another dwarf planet. Before 2006, the space object called Pluto was the 9th planet of our solar system, but scientists debated and voted to create a new category called dwarf planets for space objects like Pluto. Dwarf planets orbit the Sun, have nearly round shapes, produce a minimal level of brightness, and are not moons. They also do not have gravitational pull to sweep other space objects from their orbit. Scientists began by identifying 6 official dwarf planets, but some scientists wanted to classify dozens of similar space objects as dwarf planets. Many more space objects could be counted among the dwarf planets as technology makes it easier to identify them. Asteroids. Asteroids are rocky, metallic objects orbiting the Sun. They range in size from a few feet in diameter, a diameter of hundreds of miles in diameter. Most asteroids are found between Mars and Jupiter. Some have orbits that cross the Earth's path and in the past. Some have even crashed into Earth. Asteroids and other smaller objects that enter Earth's atmosphere are called meteoroids. If they survive the trip and land on the ground, they are called meteorites. If they burn up before landing, they're called meteors. Among the best evidence of an asteroid hitting Earth is the Banneker crater near Winslow, Arizona. Comets. Comets are composed of ice and dust and are like large dirty snowballs in space. They have very oval-shaped orbits. For parts of that orbit, they come close to the sun, and then they swing far out into space. Some comets orbit the sun in less than 200 years. The most famous of these is Halley's Comet. It returns every 76 years. Other comets take thousands of years to complete an orbit. Comet Hyakutake which passed close to the Earth in 1996, will return in about 900,000 years. Conclusion. Humans have always wondered, what's happening out there in space? For centuries, we could only guess. New rockets, space probes, satellites, and telescopes show us what's happening in our solar system every day. These tools have helped scientists to discover new planets, recount moons, and see stars being born and being swallowed. They have also given us the first full sky survey map of a universe and a direct view at the sun. What will they show us next about our solar system and beyond?